It's not working with me. Welcome, 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 all machine heads, big and small. It is the machine. I feel like this is too like over there. Okay, right there. This is the Machine Room Podcast. I also feel like this light is not needed. I shouldn't even care about
Yep.
this because, ooh, no, I feel like some of that light is needed. Because for the most part, if anything, people just hear this like an audio form, barely watches and YouTube. But yes, here we are. I'm Nostradamus, and with me, as always, is the beautiful Hammer of Venus. And we've been gone for a long while, but one thing's for sure:
Life, yo.
we always come back. You were out of town last time, though.
I was out of town last week. I went to Texas to see some friends and I saw an ex of mine and it went really well. So, kind of hoping to go back and see him again because, like, all my friends here moved away. So, I usually just spend time with the dog. So, it was good to socialize and have fun and do stuff with other people instead of sleeping until 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good though. I saw your pictures and you look like you had a lot of fun and I'm very happy that you went out there and did something.
Oh, yeah, it
Very
was a
cool.
good time. My
Yeah.
mom was just like, don't move back. I'm like, I'm not going to move back. I hope.
Well, she told you don't move
Knock
back
on,
though.
knock on. Because, uh, I've moved back there a couple times and it always ends badly.
Mhm.
Always ends in me, like, fleeing town, like a criminal or something. So
Mhm.
I just have a bad track mark with Texas. It
So
never ends well.
it's good for like a week vacation or something.
Yeah, it's good for a few days. Then it's like, okay, let's get the fuck out of here. I need to get back to my mountains and my trees and my condo.
I feel you. I feel you. As I guess well, I mean, I never it's different because you used to live there, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I've lived in Texas several times.
Yeah. So I have no I can't relate to that in the sense, but I do have like a week limit when I go to like Puerto Rico. Like it's cool, it's all great, but then I'm like I want to go home. But that's just like you know you're homesick, whatever. You just want to go home and shit. You want to go to your stuff. So that's
Yeah,
totally different.
exactly.
That's totally different. It's not like if I lived in Chicago all my life and then I'm like I'm out of here and I leave Chicago and then I come back and I just have like a short time limit here, which I feel is the case for like all my family and siblings that used to live in Chicago. They'll leave, they'll come back and visit. They're like, damn, this is great, whatever. But then right away they're like dissing my city and I'm like, yo, I live here. This is my home. Like
Right.
you guys are the assholes that freaking left it, but then you still claim it. Like, nah, man, come on.
No, you can't have it both ways.
You can't. You can't have it both ways. You bastards.
Both.
I've just been tired. I remember that one night that we both didn't hit each other up. And I'm talking about both with an F. We
Both.
both didn't hit each other up. And then the next day, we're like, you contacted me. Cause I wanted to contact you, but I was like, oh shit, she's probably mad at me. But you contacted me, it was like, I'm sorry, I didn't hit you up yesterday for the machine room. I was like just knocked out. And I was like, dude, I'm sorry because I was fucking knocked out too. It was a really, really bad day. I had an immense headache. I was tired all day. I was in pain. I tried to call off of work, but they wouldn't let me call off of work because they
What?
had like nobody there and the flights overlapped each other. So I said, fuck it, I'll go. But the agreement was that the next day I can call off all I want. So I was like, all right, fuck it.
Right.
I'm going to go. I'm going to do that. The next day I called off, but it wasn't the day that I needed. I needed that day. So when I got home, I just took off the clothes, went straight, laid in bed, and just was out.
I think
I
that was the day that I slept till midnight and I woke up and I was like, what the fuck? I can't believe it was like another day that I slept 18 hours. So I was like, fuck, I wonder if
what
Nas hit me up.
year
And then
is it? That's you. That was you.
yeah. And then I saw that you didn't hit me up and I was like, oh, I wonder what happened. And then you were like, oh, I went to bed too. I was like, well, I guess we just needed some sleep.
Yeah, majorly. I did. It was. You know what it was, and it's like it doesn't happen to me a lot, but that was like an. It has to been like an immense hangover. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
The night before, we were drinking some rum with pineapple or something. I don't know what the fuck it was. Something. This woman, she gets me. She gets me to that point. You know, like nobody else has ever gotten me. Like she's the only one that got me like stupid drunk. You know, and many have tried throughout their years. So, but it takes a lot for me, you know. So I was fine. That's the thing that shocked me. Like I was fine. Everybody else was fucking like stone cold drunk. I was fine. I was buzzed or
Mm-hmm.
whatever shit like that. I went to sleep fine, but I woke up with such a headache. It hurted. Like it hurted just to keep my eyes open. My body was weak. It just hurted so much. I just
It
wanted to.
hurted, y'all.
It hurted it. I wanted to stay in bed so badly, and I couldn't. And I just dealt with the day like a man. But then when I got home, I was a baby again. And I just went to sleep.
Remember drinking in like your teens or 20s and waking up and feeling perfectly fine?
Like
And then like
nothing.
your late 20s to your 30s, you drink like that and you have the worst fucking hangover.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Also, what affects me like that is this is why I don't do edibles all the time. But if I do an edible and it like hard, like it's a
Mm-hmm.
really like it's a big dose of it, and I'm just having the time of my life that night, the next day I am just like, ugh, you know? I don't want to do anything. And that's why I always want to do it on my days off. I don't want to do it on a day that the next day I know I have to go to work or whatever, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You have to like plan for it.
And that's why I don't get all these people I know who are just like on it 24/7, like before work smoke, after work smoke, during work smoke, you know, or anything like that, or do any kind of stuff. Like I just that's why I can't get fixated to it, because to me it's like a once in a blue moon kind of thing, you know.
Right.
It's nothing I never. It's also with drinking, it's nothing I ever have to like. I don't need it. I don't aim for it. I don't need it to have a good time,
Mm-mm.
but I'll do it if I want it, you know, like if I want
Yeah,
that little extra or whatever, stuff like that. And always in the comfort of my own home, you know. I'll
absolutely.
Yeah, I'll hang at the bar with like my employees and have a couple drinks, but nothing like that really affects me, you know. But I'd rather do everything at the comfort of my own home, that I know I'm just here, I'm just chilling, and the next day I know I can just relax.
Absolutely. That's the best way to drink
And
or do edibles.
yeah,
I
I was
if I
also
smoke or do edibles, I have to do it at home, like, because I don't like feeling like I'm losing control around strangers, because you never know what people are gonna do. They're gonna like zero you in and start fucking with you.
I
So
could
I'd rather be home in bed and tripping my ass off.
tripping balls is the only other place that I'm cool with, like going off on edibles at a convention. It just it just makes it like I had the craziest experience when I was, you know, freaking on edibles and whatnot at a convention. And it's really crazy too, because I start believing that the people cosplaying are really the people.
Those are real Ninja Turtles.
But I remember the probably maybe the first time I did it, and I was with LP. We separated from everybody else. Me and LP were going around, and he bought uh an artwork, but he needed the slip for it. And they'll always have like a booth where they have like the plastic slips so you can put in the artwork, you know, to protect it and everything like that. we were looking for this, and we're just looking around, looking around. It's like, oh yeah. Then we'll start asking people, and the funny thing is that most of these people are like cosplayers, so we start asking people, and then we're going, and I'm over here like, yo, dude, this is like we're playing a game, right? And all these different people we're interacting with are the MCPs, and they're sending us off. They're sending us off to find it, but they're also sending us off to side missions, and depending on who you talk to, that's the level of knowledge they know. Because when we ended up talking to a guy who dressed up as the Doctor from Doctor Who,
Yes.
that motherfucker knew exactly where it was, and that's what ended our long ass journey walking around the whole fucking place. And finally got there, and I told us like, you see, all we had to do was talk to the doctor because the doctor knows everything, and he would have directed us
Exactly.
straight there. And
Next
it was
time,
funny
just look
because
for the doctor.
the booth was not, where the booth was, like by itself, all the way somewhere in the back corner of the fucking convention by its damn self. That felt like a game kind of, development kind of shit. Like it was over there with a light on it and everything. This is only things you can get if you're under some influence.
Well, last weekend when I was in Texas, I drank too, which I never do. Hardly ever. If I do, it's like maybe a glass of wine or something.
Fancy.
But I went out with my ex-fiance, and we went, and she was buying shots. So I was doing shots and drinking beer, which I never do. And the next morning, I didn't feel like hungover. I just felt dehydrated.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I get that. I get that. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was
I
fun. It
totally
was
get that.
like a cool place, and I got to meet other people and get out of my comfort zone.
But yeah, that's how it is and what it's for. I guess what I'm saying is like we do it like socially, but
Right.
nothing to the point where it's like too extreme where we depend on it.
No, like I see, like my roommate, he has to drink like every night. I'm like, what's so wrong in your life that you need to drink every night?
That's the same question I be asking. And I know I don't want people to think like anything, oh, you're a hypocrite, whatever. Because remember, from my all my life, I was all like, I don't need it. I'm straight edge, blah 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 blah. Right?
Straight edge.
Yeah. And then, after going through some shit, you're just like, fuck it. So you start doing stuff. But I never did stuff too extreme to the point that I'm not. I guess what I want to say I'm proud of, and this is not to like not judging anybody or anything like that, but when I was a young teenager, I didn't feel the need for it or feel pressure under it. Yeah, sure, I took a shot just to shut people up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, yeah, here's a shot. I'm like, all right, whatever. There, I did it. But like I said, there were always a goal for like, oh, let's get, we gotta get X drunk. We gotta do this, and that. And it's like I never satisfied them with that freaking shit. But it was also never a need for it because what I saw from people doing it, it was like, nothing about what you guys are doing is inspiring me to do it.
Right.
I see you act stupid. I see you fucking drunk, shit faced drunk. There's nothing like that inspire me to do it. But as you get older, you're wiser and you have more control over stuff. And then you start, it's a social kind of thing where you're just hanging out and taking drinks and stuff like that. You know your limits and blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what a younger me doing that would have been like. I don't. But I'm kind of cool with the fact that I never had to or needed it. And a lot of people believe that we were on something when we did all those videos. But we were not. Surprising.
No, that was just you naturally.
That was just me naturally fucked up. Shout out to D Player who's in the chat room. Thank you for being in the machine room. Um, I'm glad you're here joining us. This kind of spur of the moment because neither one of us knew what was going. I was just waiting for you to say anything. Really, I was good. I barely got home when you hit me up too.
I set my alarm and everything to make sure I didn't oversleep.
You gotta set an alarm for it. Nice. See the things we gotta do.
It's
That's what.
the
Oh,
adult life.
we're old and we like to sleep. Look,
I
I'm the
love to
same.
sleep. It's like a hobby of mine.
It's fucking crazy. On my days off, I'm the tiredest. I'm
Hmm.
so fucking like Saturday. All I wanted to do was sleep, and I damn near did it. I just want to. On my work days, I'm like, yeah, wired. I gotta go and I gotta do all this stuff, and I'm up. But on my days off, I'm so fucking tired. I just want to sleep in.
Me too.
It's like shit I have to do even on my days off. Being an adult and whatever.
Most shit you can do online, which is awesome, like pay bills and stuff like that.
Oh
But
yeah, yeah, that
there's some
yeah.
shit you have to go out in the world, like go to the pharmacy and the grocery
Mhm.
store and shit like that.
Yeah. We had to go get a whole new bed for one of the family members here. Of course, shopping for kind of food and whatnot stuff. But yeah, I'd be tired. I don't know. And then I think about how my father used to like sleep all the time too.
Hmm.
So I guess I'm getting to that age. I just want
My
to
mom
sleep.
does too. My mom like stays in bed. Or she
Sleep.
used to. Now she's like frantically baking and taking care of plants and stuff.
Nice. My mom cannot take care of plants.
No, she kills them.
And not intentionally. She's not good at them. She's not good at them as much as she wants to. We even gave her like a cactus because you can't kill a cactus. She
Oh,
didn't really.
I've killed a cactus before.
What? You could kill a cactus?
I think I overwatered it.
Oh, you probably drowned that motherfucker.
Yeah,
Drink, bitch. Tell me. You like some kind of um what do you call it? Torture kind of shit.
like waterboarding.
Yeah. Not to be confused with motorboarding, which I know y'all
No,
love. Y'all
what's
love some motorboarding.
motorboarding?
Motorboarding is when you put your face in between two breasts. And
Oh,
like,
that's motorboating.
oh, that's what I said, wasn't it?
No, you said boarding.
Oh no, I said, well, whatever, man. I guess boarding is when you put your dick in between two titties and go.
Floppy wiener.
I'm pretty sure if you look up like Urban Dictionary, it's something for mortar. I don't even know how to say it. I don't know how to say that word. Just like I don't know how to say like
Rivalry?
rivalry. Yeah, something like that. Can't seem to fucking say it for the life of me. And I
I
just
used to
realized
not
that
be
like,
able to say cinnamon or adrenaline. I used to like carry the N on forever, like adrenaline.
in grammar school, I had to make a speech, right at the end in graduation or something like that. I had to say something that involved the word inevitable.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm. And I remember like, was it grammar school? No, it was high school because I remember Sony like teasing me. Maybe it was high school. Or was it grammar school? I don't know. Sometime,
Regardless.
regardless, I had to say it. I had to say inevitable. And it was difficult for me to say. And I don't know if I learned it beforehand or after the Matrix because the Matrix really helped you
Hmm.
because of fucking Agent Smith going like, it is,
Inevitability.
yeah, it is inevitable. So yeah, so big ups to the Wachowskis for helping me learn how to say inevitable because that was a hard word for me to say back then.
But you can say it now.
I could say it now. Now I just need something to help me freaking say rivalry, which I feel like I just recently, like a couple days ago, just realized like I can't fucking say this word. Rivalry.
You know what's another hard word? Is rural.
Rural. There's too much. There's too much in the
Rural.
word.
Rural.
I mean, if we want to get into this debate, like why is Wednesday spelled Wednesday?
Yeah, you don't say the N.
It makes no damn sense. Though Nintendo should
I
take
hate that
advantage
word.
of that and have like when NES Day. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's when NES Day. Play all your favorite Nintendo games. See, I should be in the marketing.
You should.
I should be in the marketing. I would have been making Nintendo mad money. Getting
Well, did you see Will Smith bitch slap Chris Rock?
some Will Smith's about to make mad money. Dude, I couldn't believe it. Okay, first of all, I forgot that the Oscars. I mean, I remember yesterday, but I forgot today's Sunday. You know, you work, you forget shit. So it's the Oscars, and I'm like, oh shit. And I'm looking at all the winners, blah, blah, whatever. Me and Rosie are like putting new covers on our bed because the kitty's got like, there's too much cat hair on there. We're taking out the old
Hmm.
ones so we can wash it, but we're putting new ones on there. I think it's affecting me. Like, I got like it looks like I have a hickey on my neck, but it's a rash, and it's got to be because of the little kitty. So while we're doing this, she keeps going on her phone. She has like a smartphone that's connected to her fucking watch, whatever. She's going on. She's looking at stuff, and then she says, "Will Smith just slapped Chris Rock and said, keep my wife out of your motherfucking mouth." And I'm like, "What?"
You sure
And I
did.
quickly got the fucking Twitter, and I'm like, "I know there's a video. I know there's a video. I know there's a video." And next thing you know, we were just looking at the video like crazy, and I was like, "Yo, no, that wasn't bullshit. That was for real."
That was
Like,
real.
we have never seen Will Smith go off like that.
He totally lost his temper. And when you saw him like walk on stage and Chris Rock is just laughing, like, oh shit, what's he about to do? And he just bitch slapped the shit out of him. It sounded like a punch,
It did.
but Chris Rock took it like a man.
And you can find it uncensored because overseas it was uncensored. And Chris Rock was like, "Whoa, really?" Like, he's like, keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth. It was like, it was a GI Jane joke. He was like, "Keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth." It's like, okay, I will. And then he had to just
Wow.
segue into the fucking documentary. It was the most awkward shit. But it was like unbelievable. Like, no one saw that shit coming at all.
Mm-mm. I
No
thought he was
one.
gonna do some like Kanye West shit, like get up there and steal the mic away or something, and he just goes up. Oh,
Said something funny or whatnot.
he was not fucking joking. You see him walk off stage, his mouth is all like twisted up, like he's fucking mad as hell.
He When you see the footage and he says the joke, it points to them, of course, and Will Smith is laughing. But Jada
Yeah,
rolls her eyes, and it's kind of serious. So the question is, what happened when the camera went back to Chris Rock? Because something happened that time period. Because Will Smith was laughing at it, so he
yeah,
must have looked at her, and she must have gave him some kind of look or sign or whatever shit like that. And Will Smith was like, "Oh no," and had to go and defend her honor.
yeah. And I only saw the censored one. Like as soon as he hits him, the audio cuts out.
Yeah. Oh no, you gotta see the uncensored. I mean, I think I could pull it up and you could hear it. Because when something good happens, I fucking make sure I download the video before it freaking
Before it
disappears
gets
from the
taken
internet.
down.
Yeah. Let's see. Uh, oh, well. Joining us tonight in the machine room is the kitty Juno. Juno, say hi. I don't know. You could probably
Kitty.
see. Yeah,
Aw, hi
that's her right
kitty.
there. She wants all the attention. Hold on. I know I got this fucking video here.
Is she gonna press buttons on the keyboard again?
Oh, please don't. Please don't knock over my camera too. Okay, it's gonna be right here. Here we go.
Tonight, Javier Bardem and his wife are
Let me
both
see the
nominated.
video.
Now, if she loses,
I mean, if I show the
he
video,
can't win.
I don't know if you could hear the audio.
He's
I can hear the
praying that
audio.
Will Smith wins. Like, please, Lord.
Come on.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
Ooh. She's laughing right there.
That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Uh-oh.
Here it comes.
Oh,
Ooh.
wow.
Rick James, bitch.
Will Smith
Oh, come on. This is no.
That's the censored one.
No. I have the uncensored. I know I got it. Here it is.
Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me. Wow,
Ooh.
dude. It was a G.I. Jane joke. Keep my wife's
G.I. Jane のジョークだったんです。
fucking mouth. I'm going to.
Wow.
I could, oh, okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television.
テレビ史上最高の場面でしょうか。
So we are here.
Wow, I didn't know that he yelled it like that, because the
Yep.
censored version makes it look like there was no mic that picked him up saying it. Like, you just see him mouthing the words, but he's yelling that shit.
He yelled the fuck out of it. He was really freaking mad. And look, okay, D player saying something because this stuff like he just won an Oscar too. He won an Oscar after that. His first Oscar
Oh,
ever.
wow.
And right here, I was trying to look for the video right here. Apparently, he went up there. He said something and he started crying. Right here it says, Richard Williams was a fierce defender of his family. And at this time in my life, at this moment, I am overwhelmed by what God is calling on me to do and be in this world. And I need to see the whole thing to see what he said. The player said here, Denzel looked fucking pissed at Will. Denzel gave him that dad look like, I'm gonna whoop your ass after this.
Ooh.
And that's the thing, like, you know, okay, so I'm gonna ask you, Kitty, like, find a position because right now I need to, like, find a position. Like, lay down on me or something, or sit right there, bake biscuits, do something. You're all in my way. You had ass in my face. Okay, so I didn't know that Jada Pinkett was, her hair's like that because she was dealing with hair loss. All right, I thought
She
that
has
was
she has alopecia.
yeah, I thought it was a choice. I didn't know that.
No.
Okay, so
I
with
saw a
that,
video online of her talking about shaving her head because she has like a bad bald spot like right on top. So she just had fucking shaved her whole head.
I'm laughing because the kitty is like right there in the corner of the screen. So I didn't know that. So in that kind of context, yeah, I guess one could or should get mad at the joke, but also should should Will have done that, or should he have done it off air? How do you feel? Was it justified,
Honestly,
or do you feel
it was
like,
just a
oh, just take a
joke.
joke?
No, it was just a joke. It's not like he said something about their kids or something like that. Granted, it was like a jab at her alopecia, but still, like, it was just a fucking joke, and he was laughing at first. So what happened from the point that he was laughing to the point that he walked on stage? Was he laughing like, oh shit, I'm about to walk up on stage and bitch slap you? Like, it just looked like he was laughing at the joke.
Or was it something about, because I don't know, the whole relationship between Will and Jada, like over the years, have been like, the fuck's going on here, right? Because she makes him look bad.
Yeah, she's always talking shit about him.
Yeah. And then went all out there about the conversation between her and August, who she was with while being with Will Smith and their marriage or whatever, stuff like that. But, that's between them, and if they have like a open relationship kind of agreement, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, whatever. But still, there have been a lot of people who's like, yo, Jada need to chill, making Will look bad, and you know, and Will hasn't really said much, and in that sense, he just lets it be. Then this happens where in front of millions on live television, he goes up and slaps someone for making a joke about his wife.
Yeah. Honest to God joke. It was just a joke. Like, I've seen worse jokes when Ricky Gervais was the host.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why they didn't invite him back, because he had all these, harsh jokes like that. But in the end, it's just a joke. Like they should have taken it like, yeah, her head's shaved. She does look like G.I. Jane.
She does.
I
Look,
wouldn't I wouldn't take that to, oh shit, he's talking shit about my wife. He wasn't talking shit. It wasn't mean spirited.
that was like some heat of the moment kind of. I think it's just I don't know. Like I said, I don't know these guys, but it's Jada has something on this guy. And I'm not saying like some blackmail kind of shit. Like I'm saying like she has like something on this guy. Maybe he
Hmm.
really is like quote unquote chivalrous and defending her honor, but it just seemed unlike him, you know,
Yeah, it did.
to do something like that. And Jada always, to me, I don't like her. She always seemed like a really stuck up chick,
Yeah, I can see that.
you know.
Who's this August person that she was with?
August, August was some friend of the sun, I think, something like
Hmm.
that. The player probably explained it better, but he was a friend of the sun, I think, and then he was like another kind of artist, whatever, not like well big known or anything like that, and she had an affair with him, and it
Oh
was like
wow.
open. She was open about it and what happened, and saying like, yeah, they had something, and it had kind of like Will's consent or something like that. I don't know, and then broke it off. There's also the talk, there's also the story of how like Will really loved Tupac and really wanted to be with Tupac, and got with Will just because Tupac wasn't around or some shit like that.
Oh wow.
I don't know. Maybe
I've
that
heard
was
that before too.
yeah. Maybe this is Will Smith just trying to be like, yo, I'm a man to her in the world. I don't know. It's just awkward. It's weird. I think we just lost her. I think we just lost Hammer of Venus. Can we get her back? Ladies and gentlemen, can we get her back? There we go. We got her back. You back? Hello? We are having technical difficulties here. Just hello?
I'm here.
There you go. Yeah, you were we had some technical difficulties there for a moment. You froze and then it was reconnecting. Oh, I think we lost again. What's going on? What is going on? All right, so I'm gonna keep it on me until we get this thing reconnected. You there? Oh, wait. I think I just did. You never know what's gonna happen. It's just like the Oscars. You don't know what's gonna happen in the Oscars. You never know what's gonna happen here in Machine Room. Think I see you. Think I hear you. There you go. A little pixelated. I could hear you. I can hear you. I think we're good. Son of a bitch. That's my tech. Okay, there you go. Yeah, yeah. You're very like good. Did you lower down your quality or something?
No, my internet has just been shitty lately.
Have you paid your bill?
My what do you call it? A group of Karens. What
A
am I
group of
trying to say?
Karens?
Yeah, what do you call a group of Karens?
A
It's
bunch of
a
bitches?
no. I can't think of the name. Not Better Business Bureau. That's not it.
Is it bitter biscuits?
Goddamn. Better Biscuit. No. Uh, Home Association.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
This is all new to me. Ooh, shit. I see a tweet here.
HOA, Homeowners Association. That's what it's called. My homeowners association pay for my internet.
Really?
Yeah, they pay for our internet and our water.
Shit, how can I get that?
Gotta be ready.
I thought you said you gotta be rich. Like, damn, not there.
No, you gotta own a condo.
Gotta own a condo? Oh no, we own a home.
See, I'd rather have a house. I need a yard for my dogs.
Yard for dogs are very recommended.
Play that slap again.
Play the slap again?
Yes. I need it in my life.
It's funny because I have just like a still frame shot of him getting slapped. I do. It's fucking hilarious shot right there. Look at that.
Who?
It looks like that Batman, with the Robin. I know it's all blurry. I'm sorry. But
It does look like that. Oh my god, save that as a picture and we'll make it into a meme. Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I tell, I put it in like my work text group or whatever, and then a coworker quoted that. He did that, and then said Will Smith. I was like, I want a T-shirt. Keep my wife's name on your fucking mouth, Will Smith.
I need that.
All right, I need to get this and open video player so I could really. Fucking mouth. I should just use that as the audio. Let's see. One more time. Hear that slap? Fucking Asian chick talks though. Get the other one.
This job tonight, Javier Bardem
Bardem.
both nominated. Now, I'm out here.
Nope.
I'm out here.
Oh!
You felt the
That was a
smack.
total slap. Open-handed, just whap. Best thing to happen in a long time. I don't ever watch the Oscars or the Grammys or none of that shit. It's boring to me. I like to hear like afterwards, like who won sometimes.
See,
But that makes me wish I would have watched it.
me too. Here's the thing, right? For the last several years, I barely did watch the Oscars because it was like, I just realized that you're fucking
Huge.
yeah. No one told me a damn thing. This freaking thing
I'm
went out of control.
huge.
Hold on. So I didn't watch for several years because it was just, it was all right. I would like, I'll have it there, but I wasn't like the Oscars was like my kind of like my Super Bowl kind of shit because I know I grew up loving movies and I needed to know everything like that. So I would know at least, or I'll see like the results, or I'll have it on while I'm doing something else. Of course, when you start working on freaking Sundays, you don't really keep up with it. Blah blah blah. Granted, last year wasn't really that great because of the pandemic. So I didn't want to see an Oscars where there was like no crowd and it was all blah 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 whatever. This year I said I forgot, and then I can't watch it here because I have nowhere to watch it. I'll probably have to find it like online. I barely got home. And then when this shit happened, I was like, son of a bitch, I wish I wish I had watched it. You know? Like I wish I was there when it happened without like surprised like everybody else. But thankfully, thanks to the internet gods, we're able to just see the replays, and
Yes.
thank also to the internet gods, we're able to see replays from other countries that didn't freaking mute it.
See, I woke up and I got on Facebook, and that page on Facebook, Nerds with Vaginas, she had posted something about it. She's like, Will Smith, something, Chris Rock. I was like, what is she talking about? And I kind of just went on. And then I started on Twitter, and I'm going on Twitter, and they have videos of it. And I was like, oh shit, he really did hit him.
because it was unbelievable, right? Like you couldn't believe it. I'm telling you, when she told me, I was like, "What? No!" And I had to see it for myself because there was no way. I was like, Will Smith smacking Chris Rock.
Hey, we got
See,
dogs
even
here.
your dogs can't believe it.
Hey,
It's like this is. It's. I mean, Chris Rock said at the end, like,
stop.
it's history making. This is gonna be memed, referenced in rap videos like crazy, reference and other shit.
I
It's
want
like
somebody to CGI one of those tees, the twisted tees,
put
and
it
put it
into
in Will Smith's hand and hit him with the twisted tee.
it. I'm waiting for someone to do like the anime kind of stuff, where they have him like charge up and then
Yes,
whack him or something.
Super Saiyan.
Oh man, and this one Twitter, no one's gonna get this unless you're like Latino, but there was this one like soap opera guy that he also smacked the shit out of someone who interviewed him like on the red carpet or some shit.
Hmm.
And he like blah, like real hard. So they put like Will Smith and then he slowly dissolves into that guy.
That's awesome.
But the
I
guy
saw.
ended up winning an Oscar right after it too.
Oh wow,
I
what a coincidence.
need to see what Will Smith said because he had to acknowledge it. Like, look, there's a poster that says everybody hates Chris, and it's Will Smith smacking the fuck out.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
That's crazy,
Speak. Speaking of amazing things that I wish I could see again, let's talk about the Batman and how fucking awesome it is.
man. Right when you said that, I scrolled and it's the picture I saved of him getting smacked and Batman smacking Robin just side by side.
See, I'm psychic. I know these things.
But yes, we're weeks in the game, and I think it's fair enough to say. I mean, this is gonna be like a spoilerific or whatever.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, we're just gonna geek out about the Batman here, and I've already had my moments where I talked about it, but this movie, you either dig it or you don't. For those that don't, it's just something that they're not used to. For those that do, we know Batman,
Who
basically.
doesn't dig it? Everybody I've talked to fucking loved it.
Nah, there's some people that don't dig it. It's either too long, it's boring,
What?
it's they don't. I take it as the fact that they're used to others. They're used to Batman kind of movies.
Right.
Straight to the point, whatever, a lot of action, whatnot. Um, but to those that don't, I challenge them to watch because they can watch. They don't have to like read now. They can actually watch. I challenge them to watch The Long Halloween,
Yes.
which is a 2-part movie, and Hush. If they
Or
watch,
read the comics.
they could read the comic, but let's face it, people are gonna want to watch instead. So they have either or. But I challenge them to watch that and then watch the Batman, and maybe they'll freaking like get a better feeling for it because those
Keep-
movies are highly inspired and got that feel of
Yeah.
The Long Halloween and Hush, mostly The Long Halloween.
Hmm.
It was exactly the kind of Batman movie I wanted, in which Batman was. It was like a a detective movie, a crime noir. It was really in that sense, and people will also talk about like, oh well, his Bruce Wayne is all emo and moody is because this is like second year at it and he hasn't gravitated to that yet because this is a Batman that's not even the Batman yet. He's just this guy out there who's a vigilante and just believes I'm gonna beat everybody's ass and straight and set this city straight until at the very end of the movie he realizes what he really needs to do because what he's been doing has only caused everything that's been happening.
They don't ever really call him Batman except for like a handful of times. Most of
except
the
for the
time
Riddler.
they call him Vengeance throughout the movie.
Yeah, it's only the Riddler who says Batman in the fucking.
Yeah.
This is to the Batman. You think he
But
came? You think he came up with that name though?
who? The Riddler?
No, I mean like you said like vengeance. Like who are you? I'm vengeance. Like did he just like all right? I'm a Alfred. I'm gonna make this whole bat suit right. I'm gonna have a bat mobile and a bat symbol and throw batarangs and all this bat stuff. And I'm gonna call myself Vengeance. Why
I
not?
guess it, I guess
Why
the
not
symbol on his
Batman,
chest
Mr. Wayne?
it does kind of look like a V.
Yeah.
His little knife blade Batman symbol.
Think he was very disappointed. Batman, no, that's vengeance. That's a bat. It's a V. Fuck it. Kids like Batman. I'll go with
See,
Batman.
to me, it was like a live action Arkham City game
That too.
because it had all these characters and you run around and have to do all these other missions, and it had this long storyline. And it was kind of bittersweet for me. Like, I loved the movie, but I also wish that, um, what's
Batfleck.
his name? Yeah, I wish Batfleck hadn't backed out because him in that Batsuit with this universe, I think it would have been fucking gorgeous.
Well, this wasn't his movie. He had some other totally different story that involved Deathstroke and whatnot. But yeah, I kind of do wish we had a Batfleck solo movie. But they went off and did this. But Matt Reeves did really, really well. And D Player
He
as
did
well
really
enjoyed the
well.
movie. Yeah, this movie was it had to me, okay. It had beautiful pacing, beautiful cinematography. Um I was always behind Robert Pattinson. I knew he was gonna kill it, and he killed it as Batman.
He's so cute. He did both roles, like Vengeance or not Vengeance. He did Batman and Bruce Wayne very well. And I
Yeah,
like that they were kind of the same person where like he hasn't made that split personality that
not
he
yet.
has with like the fake Bruce Wayne where he's like, "Oh, I'm a pimp and I'm gonna fucking buy shit and drive sports cars and have, models and stuff like that." He was like, even as Bruce Wayne, he was still kind of Batman.
Yeah, because he hasn't got there yet. He hasn't realized, because you get the hints of like, especially Alfred, you gotta do something as Bruce Wayne, but
Yeah,
he didn't believe like as Bruce Wayne I can do anything. He didn't
yeah.
get there. He doesn't realize that both Bruce Wayne and Batman collectively need to do something in order to change the city. And that's when we start getting, hopefully in the next movies we'll start seeing more of that, and then people will get the Playboy Bruce Wayne, because everybody's looking for the Playboy Bruce Wayne, but they got to realize that this is the beginning, and that Playboy Bruce Wayne is just like a front, so nobody like are on his ass about it, saying like, oh, you're a fucking Batman and shit like that. And he's got to this movie does set up the whole thing about like how his family is already getting a bad name. So
Hmm.
now you have a big reason why Bruce Wayne would have to do something as Bruce Wayne to give the family a better name and to make a better difference in the city. It's a perfect kind of
Hmm.
thing. Instead of just like, oh, I'm just gonna be Batman and I'm gonna do this Bruce Wayne so people can not like put us together. You know what I'm saying? Where in this universe you got like, oh, I'm here being Batman. Fuck anything else. Nobody needs to know about this Bruce Wayne. Oh shit. Actually, I need to have this Bruce Wayne now appear because my family's been put on the dirt, and I realized that I have to change my image and show that people like me actually care about the city and the community and everybody, and not just think of ourselves, which is what
Right.
he seemed like he looked like when he was just being Batman. He just seemed like, oh, it's just some fucking rich boy who just cares about himself and doesn't care about anything. There's all
I
that in
agree.
there that if you really like pay attention and look deep, you see that it was about the classes and how the rich and the poor
Mhm.
and how the Riddler was, um, you know, molded through all this stuff that he went through just going through the foster system and what. I know a little bit more too because I read, like, I didn't read, I heard the prequel. Remember I sent it to you? It's like, hey, look, there's a prequel book before the movie.
Did you get the audiobook?
Yeah, the audiobook. That's what I did.
Okay.
So I just listened to that while I was working. And yeah, you get a good backstory about Bruce Wayne coming from school. And one summer he's just like building up a car. It's that car, the
Mhm.
Batmobile, but he's like building it up at first and doing street racing. And he's getting pulled over and the cops know it's Bruce Wayne, so they're like, "Oh, it's just you. Ha, whatever. You're so rich, you could pay for this. Huh? Just get the fuck out of here." And he hated that. He hated like, "Fuck, man. Everybody treating me like this." Then he tried to go to a racetrack, and they were like, "Oh, you're too young to be racing." And then they found out he's Bruce Wayne. I was like, "Oh, you're Bruce Wayne. You could just fucking buy the track and race all you want." Blah blah. He's like, "Fuck this." And then he found out about street racing, and he met a girl who street races, and then he got into street racing, and that was his theme. But at the same time, we see the Riddler, and he's like in a foster home, which is the old Wayne Manor that they use
Mhm.
for to make it into a foster home, and he's dealing with loving puzzles and all this stuff, and doing a side job, kind of like a Uber Eats kind of shit, Grubhub kind of stuff. And then he's like, uh, he almost gets hit by one of these street racers, so he's over there thinking like, "Oh, look at all these rich motherfuckers. They could get in an accident and just get a new car, and I hate them." Blah blah blah. So then he sabotages one of the street races, and then Bruce Wayne saves this one girl. And then it cuts to year one when he starts like actually getting a suit and all this stuff, and the Riddler's been planning. So it all leads up to the movie.
We'll have to read that.
Well, now they announced, you saw the rataalada.com has all these fucking riddles and whatnot, and then they
Mhm.
count down to stuff and people figure it out, and I mean they announced it themselves, but Paul Dano wrote a Riddler, backstory comic that's coming out later this year. So there's that.
Mm.
Also
Yeah, I'm
gonna
gonna check that out too.
Yeah, I think that's gonna explain. I think that's gonna take place from that prequel book to the movie because there's still like a year gap,
Oh wow.
So you don't know because that Riddler stuff was still that time when they were teenagers and or young adults, whatever, and Bruce Wayne was doing the street racing. But there's still that time gap that to see like because he did take like a whole year until he started doing his thing.
But did you see the deleted scene with the Joker?
Let's talk about that now.
Oh my god.
It's funny how in a society nobody wants a Joker. They see this Joker and they're like, okay, we don't want the Joker to be the main villain of the next one. In which I replied to, he's not. They also see the Joker and be like, oh, he looks all fucked up. In which I replied to, I'm pretty sure there's a comic book version of him like that.
Mhm.
Isn't there? I could swear I remember a comic cover where he's just like smiling and it's all fucked up like that.
Yeah, he's really fucked up.
Yeah. I can see why they didn't add that in the movie. You also think about like what's the history? Like, okay, he's not the Joker yet. I don't think he's the Joker yet. He's just some dude who's fucking there crazy, whatever. That's what I think because nobody's really anybody yet. The Riddler and Batman are the one who are like the firsts,
Mhm.
because Batman's out there the first vigilante, and then his actions inspired this guy over here to go like, okay, I'm gonna be this Riddler, and we're basically gonna do the same job, which it was like yin and yang.
Yeah.
So then when he gets sent to Arkham and then he meets the Joker, I think that's when this whole thing's gonna, it's kind of like how Gotham, remember how we saw the evolution of the Joker?
Mhm.
He's just Jerome, and then it just evolved into this idea, and then became what it is, and there were so many Jokers until finally the main one. So I think that's what it is. I think D Player got a good point here because the Joker, I mean, if you follow one of the stories, he did fall into a chemical bath. So maybe this Joker is someone who kind of fell into one, maybe while doing something.
If you look at his hair and stuff like that, like it all looks burnt and his skin is all fucking rashy and his mouth is all fucked up and
Mm-hmm.
it totally looks more like somebody that was like a burn victim or a chemical burn or something like that. Like D Player said, he's not gonna look like Jared Leto.
Right. Right. And people didn't like that either. And that's when and I and I bring up how with Jared Leto's, I think the fault was in the presentation because he wasn't
Hmm.
there enough. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like we know there's an air cut. He even said that there's more scenes with him, and
Oh yeah.
every scene that he was on, I was intrigued. I wanted more. Then we get the Snyder cut, and we get that final scene added, by the way, into the
Hmm.
movie. It wasn't shot before; it was added into the movie, and then we get Jared Leto again as the Joker actually interacting with Batman, and we get what I feel would have been the Joker, Jared Leto's Joker, if they just let him like really be
Hmm.
him, you know?
And I love that line that Batman says to the Joker and that he's like, I will fucking kill you.
Yes. And that was really good shit. You know, you just gotta give these people the freaking avenue to do what they want to do. So when we finally get to see this deleted scene, we get to see this guy do his Joker. I'm actually like intrigued. I have no problem in the way he looks. I
Mm-mm.
think it's kind of edgy and crazy and kind of makes sense, but it's also people need to understand that this is just the beginning of such a thing that he could evolve into something else.
I like that he
Um,
called himself a clown. That
yeah,
kind of led that, like, yeah, this guy's gonna be the Joker.
yeah. You
And
see the little hints.
I love that. I love the deleted scene. I wish they had left it in the movie, but I also like the little tease at the end of the actual movie with the
Mm-hmm.
Joker talking to the Riddler. That kind of made it like, okay, we know who this is. We can see his mouth and stuff like that. So he's definitely going to be in the next movie. And they're already talking about doing like Mr. Freeze or something like that for the next movie. And that would be fun to have all that kind of, all those characters involved somehow with the Joker being there and actually becoming the Joker.
Now here, D player says the Batman Joker looks good, but build him up. Give us some new villains for now. Maybe have some
Hmm.
cameos throughout the next movies of him getting a suit and low key being a crime lord. Now,
Yes.
this is where I defend what's happening and telling people who are complaining like, uh, let's not focus on the Joker. Let's have other villains and whatnot. And that's exactly what he intends to do. The Joker will not be a main focus at least for a while. Maybe not in this sequel. If anything, you see how Matt Reeves uses everybody in that universe
Hmm.
as players in the chessboard, you know, just like they do in the comic book. The fact the Riddler and the Joker both talk to each other in Arkham Asylum kind of mimics them in the comics when during Batman's beginning, um, and I think this was maybe in the New 52 or not, I don't know. But there's a storyline and where Gotham is literally in the hands of both the Riddler and Joker. And
Hmm.
it's just a power struggle between these two guys in which Batman's in the middle and has to kind of pick a side onto the lesser of two evils just to take them all down and
Hmm.
practically try to give control back to someone who won't cause so much chaos. And this movie set up so much stuff, and it's crazy because I don't even read that much Batman, but I like know enough that this movie set up Court of Owls.
Yes.
This movie set up Hush.
It did.
and it set up this whole story arc about the Riddler and Joker going or like combining and also like taking over the city. But you gotta understand that Falcone goes down at the end, and who's gonna take power now is the Penguin.
Mm-hmm.
And now we got confirmed a series about the Penguin.
Yes, and the one about another Gotham City show where we have um, Lieutenant Gordon instead of Commissioner Gordon. That's going to be like his backstory and stuff.
Mm-hmm. So they're planning to go like all out with this stuff.
Yeah.
And I really like, I'm telling you guys that I really believe that Joker is not gonna be a main player. He's gonna be a side player, such as they use like Penguin and whatnot and stuff like that. We'll see evolution. He'll probably be like a thorn on his side, but he won't be anything big yet. But he may be involved in something that's way bigger. I feel like Court of Owls and Hush is the next thing.
Not something that we've never gotten ever. I mean, they allude to it in Arkham City, the game, is Hush, but we've never gotten a Hush movie or anything like that or based on it. So if we got somebody like that that's like out there trying to mimic Bruce Wayne and doing surgeries and stuff to his face to look more like him so that he can pretend to be Bruce Wayne, like that would be really interesting to see, along with these other characters that they want to bring to light. Like they're talking about Clayface and Mr. Freeze, along with we already have the Penguin and stuff like that. Now we have a Joker. So it's not like the old days where we had one Batman, one villain. We're gonna have multiple villains, multiple things going on at once where Batman has to kind of interact with all of them, maybe work with some of them to take down another villain. And we have so much like opportunity to do all these different storylines with these different characters that we've never used before.
And they have so much material. And Matt
Yes.
Reeves knows his material. It's evident that he knows his material. I truly feel Court of Owls and Hush is it. Court of Owls, because the first movie just, it's all there. When the Riddler reveals everything, he's talking about like how Gotham was made by the Wayne and the Arkham family, and they have all these secrets and blah blah blah. And then when it gets to the story about how Martha Wayne had mental issues or whatever, and and Thomas wanted to keep this quiet while he was campaigning for whatever, and then there's a big ass hush across the thing.
Yes.
And I believe the person that he killed had the name of Elliot or whatever, which is the last name of Hush. No, something like that. It's tied to Hush. I believe the person that was killed is the father of dude who's Hush. Thus could lead to the sequel being this guy who found out this information now because of Riddler and is gonna go after Bruce Wayne. Not knowing that Bruce Wayne.
Thomas Elliot.
Yeah, exactly. Thomas Elliot. And I think the person that was killed, last name was Elliot by the Waynes. So that's why I believe Court of Owls and Hush is going to be a key factor in the next stuff. And if you're talking about plastic surgery and this guy being a plastic surgeon, I mean, someone like the Joker could get involved and maybe end up looking a little bit prettier. I'm just saying, like, the possibilities are endless. Now, when it comes to Clayface and Mr. Freeze, I believe a Mr. Freeze possibly could be interpreted in this freaking iteration. A Clayface, I don't know, because when you set the grounds to be so realistic, it makes stuff like that impossible. And that was...
It does, but like these characters exist and they need to stop trying to be so realistic. Like Batman lives in a world that's not realistic. We have billionaires in our society and none of them have tried to be a vigilante.
I mentioned that.
It's fantasy.
I
So
fucking mentioned that. I was like, why are there like if there's billionaires, but no one ever like not one billionaire was like, you know what, I'm bored. Why can't I be like Batman?
I
Why
know
can't I be
I
like
know
Iron Man?
I know of one guy, he was a millionaire and he had a Batmobile. He used to dress up as Batman and he did it to like take pictures with like kids and be
Yeah,
supportive and
yeah,
that was what he did. He didn't fight crime or anything
he
like that.
should have.
Totally
He
should
should have.
because he looked legit and he had a Lamborghini. I was like,
I'm gonna
that's fucking awesome.
I'm gonna tell you straight up right now. If you're a criminal and you're robbing a convenience store, whatever, you run out and some guy pulls up in the actual Batmobile and comes out as Batman, I'm guaranteed most of the time that guy's gonna be like, yo, but they're also gonna be like, yo, like they're not gonna know what's gonna happen.
Right.
Okay. Like they're gonna be starstruck and geeked out, but they're also gonna be like, hold up, is this like actually Batman? What the fuck's going on here?
Yeah, can this dude fight?
Yeah, I wouldn't fuck. And if I did something like that and the Batman walked up to me, I wouldn't. And that's what I really love about this Batman. This Batman was scary,
Yeah.
and I love that about Batfleck because his Batman was also scary as fuck,
Mhm.
but his Batman was like really big and built. I like the fact that these people would just look down the shadows and they'll be like, "Oh shit, is he there?" and freak out. And he's not even there. He's like somewhere else,
Somewhere else,
putting
yeah.
mascara on his eyes, getting ready and shit.
And I love that they finally showed that too. We've had Batmans, well, at least since the 80s, with Michael Keaton putting black makeup on their eyes so that the cowl looks all black.
Mm-hmm.
But when they take it off, it's not there. Like they did it with, like I said, Michael Keaton. They did it with Batflick and Val Kilmer. It was there and then it just would magically go away. But this is the first Batman that we've had where he takes the cowl off and you can still see the black makeup. It was like, okay, yeah, this is definitely more realistic. And then he would just go out with his face covered and a hat on and the black makeup on and just walk around Gotham trying to find some shit. And then he'd have his Batman stuff in his backpack and then just like go down an alley or something, dress as Batman and go beat some bad guy's ass.
If you think about it, it's very funny because he's like, "I'm gonna go out and find some shit, Alfred." And he's just walking around, and then he sees something in the alley. He's like, "Okay." He's going there. He's putting the shit on. So you gotta think about this guy is actually taking like maybe 5 to 10 minutes to put on his whole gear before he goes out there and decides to walk out on the fucking shadows.
Yes. But when he finally does, like that first scene where we finally get to see him and you just hear his boots walking, you're like, oh shit. And even the criminals are looking around like, fuck, we're about to get dealt with.
You know what my favorite part is? Because it's just funny how it happened. So it's the part when he meets up with they're trying to get the penguin.
Mhm.
And Catwoman's there and she's like doing her thing and he's all like, "Fuck, you're fucking up this whole shit." And she's like, "I know. She's here, cuz she's looking for her friend." And then they spot him, they shoot them, Batman goes down, Catwoman's like hiding behind the car, whatever. Penguin shows up around there or his boys, and then Batman's not on the ground, and that's when his car starts up, And he's just
Yes.
there like, they're like shit. They're like, he's just in the car. The fact that he just looks all serious, like, cracked me the fuck up because you have to think about it. This guy was on the ground and then he got up. He was like, he's like giggling. "I'm gonna get in this car and I'm just gonna wait." And then they showed up and he's like, "Now," and just fucking with him. He was just fucking with
He's gotta
them.
love what he does. He really does. Especially that whole chase scene in the Batmobile. I don't know how he wasn't laughing like a little kid.
I know I was laughing like a little kid. First of
You
all,
would
I
though.
wasn't big about the car. I was like, "Oh, it's just a normal car, or whatever."
I
But when I
love
saw
the
that
car.
motherfucker in action, though, I fell in love. That car was fucking beautiful. I like the little emoji D player guy right there. That's exactly the
Yes.
car. And I love that he fucking goes to this car chase was long as shit. Like I'm talking like a pod racing length, you know, like that long. This
Nothing is as long as the fucking pod race. I hate
this
that
shit
thing.
felt that long. That fucking car chase would just kept going and going and going. And when he finally got to him, and he just walks over, and then you just see his boots, and then he just goes into frame, his head. That cracked me up. There was
Everything cracks you up.
dude, I was laughing in a lot of parts in that movie to the point where Rosie was like, "Hey, this is not a comedy," and I'm like, "This is funny as hell." This movie is funny as hell. Everything about it is funny. When he's in the freaking Riddler's place and the cop comes in like, "Hey, you can't be here," and he just looks at him. And he's like, "All right, man, I guess you could be here." Or when Commissioner Gordon and him were left in the room alone, and Commissioner Gordon had to act like he's talking shit. It's like, "Man, you gotta stop doing this." It just looked very funny to me. I'm like, this is hilarious. And then when he punched him and he had to bounce and just run, it's all hilarious. This is the number one comedy of 2022, right? To me,
The Batman comedy.
this shit's funny as hell. It was really good. It was real fun. I had no gripes with the length, and I I was like really enthralled into the story, and the end actually had me teared up.
Really?
You know? Yeah, it did. Like I never did that because it was like I said, it was that moment when when he went down there, sacrificed himself, and then was saving the people from the flood and getting them out. And when he went there, and he's like, "Yo," and the mayor and the adults are like, "Huh," but that one kid was like, "Yeah," and then he grabbed the kid, and it was that part where you're like, "Dude, this is Batman right here," because there's always people always campaign, especially with the cartoons, like this is Batman. Batman loves the kids, like he'll do whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Batman, he in the beginning of the movie, he was like, fear's the answer. Fear's gonna get this, blah blah blah, fear. But then he realized what that caused and what image he was giving. And then he realized that no, he has to be more than that. He has to be this image of hope, of faith, and whatever stuff like that. Something that Zack Snyder also did in his movies. That's what turned Batman around when he saw like Superman and saw what he was a symbol of and whatever. And then that's what he wanted to be when he created the Justice League. This is stuff that people didn't fucking appreciate then and are appreciating now. And the Batman movie did it within just one movie without using all the Justice League and whatnot. And in a great story. So to see that evolution of him going like, oh, fear and vengeance to no, I have to be something greater than that and hope for this city and helping a kid who believed in him, and then all these other people, especially that one chick who was going to be taken away by the medical helicopter and she didn't want him to let go. That, I don't know, it was emotional to me. It was like, this is Batman, you know, this is like the evolution of Batman, and this is him right now. He is this like true hero. Because for me, what I love about heroes is them being heroes, you know?
Yes.
Like being pure heroes. And I know there's a lot of these other stories about heroes being assholes. You got The Boys. You got like Jupiter's Legacy. You got
The Watchmen.
The Watchmen. You got some people there who are still like the Owlman and whatnot. Like he's still like I'm pure hero, but you got other people being like fucking assholes. And this new one that's on Netflix by Adi Shankar, who it's like a fucking TV show on acid. And I'm surprised I even watched all of it because it's just fucking crazy. Now, this is the guy who's behind the Castlevania anime series, which is great. But he's also the guy who was behind that Power Ranger bootleg video where it was a short film where they made Power Rangers like super dark. Do you remember seeing that?
It sounds familiar. I don't remember it.
Yeah, that was like one of the images that was very like embedded into people's head was like the Black Ranger with a Uzi and killing people.
No, I don't remember that.
No, it was a short thing. It was years and years ago, and it came out, and he did it, and he had like James Vanderbeek and some chick from Star Trek, and it was cool, but it was like really really dark. Like I dug it, but I didn't dig it because I was like, my Power Rangers won't be like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's too dark. Like, you don't have to go so dark. And he has this new show called The Guardians of Justice, and it kind of goes in that route. It's just real
Mm-hmm.
crazy. This fucking mix of animation and video games, and you got Diamond Dallas Page playing this like Batman character. Yup. He even did the cutter on somebody in the fucking
Yes.
show. Like, it was fun. I dug it. But then the story just got somewhere crazy, and then your heroes are all assholes. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, but no, like, my hero could be an asshole, but they have to be pure still, because that's what you want in a hero, pure. Even the most harshest hero, like the Punisher, is still a pure guy at heart.
Yeah.
He's just going off punishing these assholes who deserve to be punished. He's not going off doing any other evil stuff. He have morals and stuff like that. That's what I love to see.
That's what I liked about Warzone, is they showed him like taking in a family and protecting them and that kind of stuff, and showing that he did care. He wasn't like an asshole all the time. He was trying to be something more.
Phantom Knight as the DDP stalks someone's wife though. He's he's a real asshole in this. I mean, I recommend it if you want to check it out. It's crazy. I don't
What
know.
is it
It's
called?
Guardians of Justice. It's on
Okay.
Netflix. But like I said, it's like all over the place. Like the way it's put together and edited and shit like that, it's
Mhm.
fucking trippy. It's a trippy fucking show. But you get a sense of you see references to a lot of stuff. But it was just cool. I knew the moment like he showed up, I was like, man, this guy looks familiar. But I thought it was like Roddy Piper. I'm like, nah, man, he's dead. So who's this
Yep.
guy? And then the first episode showed the credits. It was like Diamond Dallas Page. I was like, what? So that alone just made me like, okay, I'm gonna keep watching this series because I gotta see DDP as this Batman. He was called Nighthawk, I think.
Nice.
It's really like, it's extremely edgy, like extremely fucking edgy.
See, that's my favorite kind of Batman, is like the Frank Miller, edgy, dark and brooding kind of Batman. And I'm glad that they brought that to the Batman, the movie, where he is dark and brooding and just kind of angry. But it was good for him to break out of that at the end and be like, I can't be angry and brooding all the time. I have to be a symbol of hope to people, and I need to, make people believe in me, because if people don't believe in him, then there's really no point in doing what he's doing.
No, it's the kind of transition that really works for Batman. And the Nolan
Hmm.
one, at the end of the Dark Knight, he's all like, I am whatever the city needs, and he
Yeah,
became like a vigilante, but he's still that hero. He's like, I don't care if you guys are after me, whatever, but I'm gonna do me, and I'll be this if it helps the cause.
right.
And sticking up for Harvey Dent, not making him look like a villain, because then the villains win if that's the case, and blah blah blah. So that's why these two movies are kind of like right now the epicenter, the top tier kind of movies, along with, I mean, 1989's Batman is never gonna be a low tier movie. That's always gonna
No,
be one of the
I
top
love
tier.
that movie so
Yeah,
much.
but for me also, it's like, I have this really big love for Batman Forever.
I
It's
do
always,
too.
it's always up there.
We talk about it all the time. We should probably watch it on the show.
It's such a good, for what it is. It's a great freaking movie, and the fact that it's supposed to be something more,
Hmm.
something greater, like, really gets me. Like, I need to see this. This whole Schumacher cut
I
that's
want to see,
going.
yeah, they have to make that. Even though that he's dead, they should just take all the deleted scenes, which I've heard there's a lot, like 30 minutes or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They need to just put them in there and be like, this is the director's cut, and put it out for the fans, because the type of movie that he wanted to make, once again, Warner Brothers fucked it up, as they always do. And if they would have just left it alone, it would have been long, but it would have been great. Not all long movies are bad. I mean, look at Braveheart.
Speaking of long movies, Dune won a lot of awards.
Did it really?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, my girl was like, "Pfft," because she didn't really enjoy it, but I think Dune was great. So,
Hell yeah.
because I gotta tell them, it's like you want to compare this fucking movie to the original movie. This fucking movie is a masterpiece.
I like the original.
The original is like a summary of the whole series.
Isn't it a David Lynch movie?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they try to put a lot into it, you know.
Yeah.
While this movie is like, okay, we're just doing this, like it says, part one, and we're gonna break it down for you, which is how it should have been. The player says, but what about Flashpoint? Is Warner Brothers petty enough to do their own No Way Home? You see, that's where I know they're over there like, fuck, you know, because Marvel beat them at it again.
Well, they did it on screen first, but DC had it planned first. DC has been planning the Flashpoint stuff for years. It was part of the whole Snyderverse thing. So when they brought on Zack Snyder, to do the DC movies, it was part of the plan. And that's one of the reasons why he was mad that everything fell apart, because he didn't get to do it.
I'm mad that they pushed it to next year.
Yeah, I'm mad about that too, because the fandom, everything was supposed to be for this year.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell? What did they push it for now? That's what I want to know. Is like, why did they push so many movies? What are they trying to avoid or do?
I don't know, because I don't know of any big Marvel movies that are coming out.
Doctor Strange 2 is like
Yeah.
next month or something, but still, I don't know why they would push it unless they're like, oh, we need to. It kind of felt like, yo. First of all, they did it after the Batman came out, so then I just thought, okay, they're just doing it so the Batman can like keep, you know,
Momentum.
momentum, like what they did with Morbius for
Yeah.
Spider-Man. You know, Spider-Man was like blowing up. They're like, all right, let's push Morbius a little bit more down. But I guess, because this thing is really gonna confuse a lot of people. You know, they're gonna still think like this Batman's connected to the other stuff that just happened. Trust me, I know, because I know people who think like that. They'll think movies are connected a lot and they'll get confused. But that Flashpoint is still connected kind of to the Zack Snyder movies.
Yeah, it is. It's the
You
same
know?
Flash.
So I don't know. But then that's weird too, because it's like, okay, this still acknowledging really the Whedon Justice League, not so much the Snyder Justice League. You know, it's which one is to us it's the Snyder one.
Yeah, of
But
course.
what are they still acknowledging? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Warner Brothers is pissing me off.
I don't know. They're all over the place.
Oh, well, tell people where they can find us.
You can find us on any podcast medium, but to make it easier for you, you can find us on machineroompodcast.com. Right there, you can see where you can listen to us or where you can watch us. You can watch us on YouTube at Real Machine Room.
Yep.
Real Machine Room, where you'll see these videos. And then you can follow Hammer Venus and I on Twitter and Twitch.
Instagram.
And on Instagram, but not the Real Machine Room Instagram, because that
we fucked that one up.
Yeah, we don't even know how to get in there. So we will have to make a whole new one. But you know what? We're fine without it. But yeah, you just go to realmachineroom.com. themachineroom.com, and you can find everything for us there. We will love it if you continue to follow us here on Twitch.
You had it right the first time. It's machineroompodcast.com.
There you go, machineroompodcast.com. And Yeah. I have a brain fart because I was so into like just ranting about Warner Bros. In DC that I don't know what the hell happened after that. We have a blast. Go see Batman if you haven't seen Batman. Sorry we
Please
spoiled it
go
for
see
you,
it.
but it's nothing really too much spoilerific. It's not like we saw Spider-Man and told you, hey, they're all there, which they don't even care anymore. You see, like the
Yeah,
fucking
all the
they're
ads and everything.
like advertisement and everything is like, hey, look, three Spider-Mans.
Yep.
Like, okay, well, I guess the cat's out the bag. But what can you do? But yeah, thank you for coming here, listen to us. If anybody talks shit about your girl, feel
Punch him
free
in the
to smack them.
face
Will Smith has given us all the right to do so.
with twisted tea.
Yeah, that's all I got, man. That's all I got. Big ups to Encanto for winning an Oscar. That's my movie.
Who would be?
But I'm happy that we came here. I'm happy you guys are with us. Shout out to Phantom ID Player. For you listening to us, I hope you're still on the toilet. If you were on the toilet, that was an hour and 36 minutes. I think you need to wipe your ass and get the hell out.
Ew.
I think that might be a problem.
Your legs are asleep.
Yeah. But yes, we're Machine Room Podcast. I'm Nostradamus. She's Hammer of Venus. She threw up the deuce for those who are on just the audio.
Yes.
Now she's smiling and she said, yes, you heard that part. And this has been us this week. We'll see you next week, hopefully. If not, we'll be back. It doesn't matter. We're always here. We're going nowhere. I gotta pee. Thank you, everybody. Good night. Machine Room Podcast has been brought to you by no one and was filmed in front of whoever watches us.
Dogs and cats.
Dogs and cats. The cats and dogs were in this. There needs to be more pet control in the Machine Room Podcast.